It's time to kick it off. We've got a best of 7 show match. One and all, welcome back to Age of Empires for action. And we've got 2 of the absolute tops in this $150 show match. The South Side's kicking off this series in the yellow, playing as the Ayyubids. It is Beastie Cutie. Arguably the second best player we have in 2024 in Age of Empires 4. But nibbling at his heels on that podium, I think most people put this guy top 3 right now. Puppy Paw begins this series in the red on the HRE. Best of 7, remember, folks. We've got some interesting maps ahead of us. A little bit of water, a little bit of traditional land, and some custom maps that you won't see in your own quick matchmaking experience. But Ayyubid's HRE, we dissected this as a possibility on the start, right? Like, Ayyubid's, it's one of those very kind of favored civs. I thought maybe we'd see Byzantines instead. Beastie probably felt that was a bit too predictable. Maybe he anticipated the HRE, because I think actually that matchup, HRE, do really well. This matchup, HRE kind of struggle, folks. We've got a draft that I do think Beastie got the better part of, and he's already kind of looming it over Puppy Paw here. Right? HRE kind of feels predictable to play on an opening map because it works everywhere. It's very strong. But in this particular matchup, as long as the Ayyubid player gets a retracted gold, and yes, he did, it's very hard for the HRE to brute force this in feudal. Ooh, what? Wait. That is so crazy. It might work. I can't believe that. Puppy Paw cancels the Aachen safe at home because he sees a miracle drop here. This is so unorthodox. Guys, there's a reason why you don't do this. Take it from a person who began the beta of Age of Empires 4 as an HRE main. People didn't punish me then because they didn't realize what they realized very quickly after release. If the Aachen isn't in range of the TC, what the hell protects it? Right? This is so insanely greedy. He's going for the double deer shove in with the berries, wood, and gold. Okay, so like maybe I could understand this if it was, say, a double TC play. And it might be that he's looking for feudal pressure, but the reality of how this plays out is like if Beastie just plays the flanks, he can still attack this. In fact, it's kind of even easier to attack this. So Puppy Paw is going to have to either wall it in, outpost it up, or leave troops to defend. And all those options take away from a feudal all-in and feed into this idea that Ayyubids can go fast castle. So curious to see if Puppy Paw can hit that timing. I definitely think it's a little bit of a tough one, but look at this. We're not even waiting for the age up to tick. Spearman already being produced by Puppy Paw. I think we're going to have military with the other side, right? Yeah, raid is already coming. Outpost also being built, so you will have that defense. Remember, you don't need to place the outpost past the gathering point unless you're up against javelins or lombos. HRE do not have either of those. So you want to keep it closer to where the villagers are so they can immediately garrison before projectiles hit them. What a wild build. I've casted how many hours? I don't know. Like someone tried to guesstimate in chat for me. How many hours of Age of Empires 4 have I cast now? Like actually, let's do it a better way. In the last 2 years, I've cast thousands. It's thousands, right? It's thousands of hours of Age of Empires 4. In the last 2 years. That's kind of crazy to think about. But anyway, getting away from that. In the last 2 years, and all of those hours of casting, I have not seen a single player do this with an Aachen. I would have to go back to the first year of Age of Empires 4 to see people do this with an Aachen. This is so wild. Desert Raider sneaks on through. Now, keep in mind, stepping against the spears is going to be difficult because there's so many of them. Right? They have the movement speed, remember. When they actually charge, they move quicker than the Desert Raider does. So that's why he went Mass Spearman here. He understood it was going to be Desert Raiders, and scaling Archers is just too slow. Right? Like, you'll still get kited out. Because Archers will move at 1.25 static, whereas these guys fluctuate, as you're seeing there. 1.72 and then back down to 1.38. What a crazy build. Archers now coming in on the delay, though. And this should stabilize them to the point they can brute force. But the problem is what's happening on the other side, guys. Beastie's already on his way up, right? He's about to pull the trigger. And this is the thing about this Aachen. Like, while this Aachen's kind of sick, you have to really process how much longer it took him to build. Like, without Wheelbarrow, that's a long way to walk. And once again, without Wheelbarrow, that's a long way to walk. Like, every single villager that comes out is doing this walk. He does not have a mill. He does not have Wheelbarrow. He just has this idle inefficiency for, like, the first, what is it? I want to say 10 to 12 seconds of a villager's life. It might even be longer. Like, if he's going for gold or food, it's actually longer. That's crazy. Spearman Archer numbers starting to build though. Beastie, in the meantime, has pulled the trigger. Growth Wing now on the way. So we've got experimental and different into standard versus absolutely standard. And this doesn't look good either, guys. I'm not a really big fan of Men-at-Arms. The problem with Men-at-Arms here is actually Desert Raiders deal with them reasonably well. Lancers disintegrate them. You'd think Desert Raiders would lose to Men-at-Arms. They do not. It's 5 melee armor against a unit that has 8 base damage, if I remember correctly. Oh, sorry, no, it goes up to 10, right? That's still a 50% DPS loss. And in return, you have, I think it's 3 melee armor versus a unit that hits you for 13, right? It's just not a favorable fight. You also have the same health, basically. Ooh, how do you do this? Blacksmith's now coming in. So at least have the tech upgrade. Maybe the logic here is scale archers to the point that you can just kill camel lancers. So archer, spear, archer, spear. That can at least force BC and Ghoulims, right? And if he has to go Ghoulims, his timing is very slow to get on the map. And he can get kited by the HRE, right? The marching drills give them that type of movement speed to stay away, right? 1.38 instead of the 1.25. Means even when you're charging, you don't necessarily stick on top of him. But Beastie yet to make a commitment here. Villagers are getting raided. He didn't wait, what? Beastie didn't garrison the outpost. What? Oh my god, he's just going raw archers. I mean, well, he's got enough gold for blacksmith techs and veterancy, right? But this can't be Ghoulims, it can't be lancers. You don't have gold access. The other gold is forward. Wow. I did not see this coming. Tech up complete. Pupport. Non-stop gunning on the other side of this. Could also burn down the house, which might end up pop-blocking Beastie. He's already anticipating it to a certain degree. Actually has another house coming up. Dude, this is actually legit just going to be mass archers, which is kind of crazy, right? If you get the veterancy and you get Steeled Arrow, you hit hard enough to kill Men-at-Arms. Dive's coming in the meantime, though. Give me a shift pass. Undermesh already researched. Pupport timed this perfectly. A block on the mosque as well. Villager will be going down. I love the fact he's expecting the villager to get pulled back and it never does. And now a shift outside the other side of the base. This is not the way to safety. More troops are coming in. Beastie. His brain's about as scrambled as an egg right now. More troops arriving. No, wait, did he get wheelbarrow? I think he did. Okay, that was smart by Beastie. Considering he just done a lap of his own tree line, that offsets some of the pain. But we are far from being out of Pain Town yet, folks. Practically every part of Beastie's economy is idle. Only these 8 villages are working right now. Archer count is also low still. Spearman reaching in so damn quickly. Archer's trading out with their counterparts. Veterancy has at least come in, but the count is low for Beastie. This dive proving expensive, but maybe worthwhile. Puppy Paw reducing the eco lead of Beastie. Keeping him shut inside of his base. Behind this, though, Puppy Paw holding nothing in reserve. Remember, he went for this gluttonous Aachen. He can't afford to go for greed. He has to be full-on, as I like to say, Assassin's Creed on this one. Deers have been shoved in. He still has them to harvest from. He's weirdly enough gathering on the berries, which is a little bit unexpected here, but that might have been a misclick. He's got plenty of sheep remaining. The wood line will also last quite a while longer. Don't be deceived. Yes, Beastie does have 5 more villages. Remember how much weaker his economy is. Raw number-wise, Puppy Paw can pump more. That's the HRE Aachen buff, baby, in a nutshell. Love I glance across that moment to see Crackety moaning about HRE in my chat. It wouldn't be an Age of Empires 4KP stream if Crackety didn't come through to type HRE OP. Beastie. This is gluttonous, though. Does he have enough archers to defend? With the Men-at-Arms here, I'm a little bit skeptical. He's going to have to. Puppy marches in. Sees the mill, sees the villagers. Doesn't go straight for it, though. Sticks on top of the archers. Remember, the marching drills allows him to keep gap closed here. Spearmen are at least getting targeted down. But these Men-at-Arms, remember, they're not so threatening for Desert Raiders if it's just a fight between the two. The archers is the critical detail here for Puppy Paw. We'll be a pivot south side now. In the meantime, dervishes have started to spawn. Puppy Paw will begin the hunt. Stealth Forest is going to make it a nice, smooth dodge from Beastie as he shifts south side and Puppy Paw whiffs west. Oh my god, and he actually genuinely believes that he went all the way out here. Which is wild, right? Like, Puppy Paw had double scout. He should see all the resources more or less. There's nothing here to gather. Realistically, BC's going to try to be greedy here because without the food source, he's dead anyway. Because he won't be able to scale anything. Not even archers. Dive comes in again. Archer count starting to get a little bit more scary, but Puppy Paw getting it together fast. A little bit of bleed over onto the villagers. As the front line does not really exist, and Beastie wasting a lot of time A-clicking into the men-at-arms now. More idle time again, Beastie. Dude, at this rate, this game's going to finish with him gathering about 50% of the time on average. What a crazy game. Puppy Paw. Men-at-arms numbers are being the oppressor here. Up to almost double digits now, and Beastie still with only a handful of archers at his disposal. It might have worked for a lad in a forest over near Nottingham, but we are most definitely not in England, and it's not going to have that same wallop as Robin Hood might have. Beastie needs mass. Beastie does at least have relics coming in, right? So the gold gathering isn't an issue. Potentially we could see lancers. It still feels too expensive on food though, right? He has got the eastern pocket, but I think that's where Puppy Paw is going to check next. Like, now it gets predictable, right? Like, you starve the west side, your opponent isn't coming there. There's only one place he can be in the game to stay in the game. He's moving there now. Looks like there is a hunt to protect those remaining relics. The dervishes getting very greedy here. Main armies are going to clash. And arm archers sticking on top of it here. BC not able to move away quick enough. Still only desert raiders, no camel lancers, no front line. Unless the villagers want to maybe take a chance at being a spim. Nope, no, they just went out here. More are going to be sniped down. Beastie's eco lead continues to shrink. Men-at-arms have leaked over into the economy. Archer count starting to shrink up a little though. Beastie at a point where he can stand his ground now. On the flank, Puppy Paw will pull away just in time, and damage most definitely done. Beastie's eco lead now reduced down to 1. There will be a relic drop and a run away. Puppy Paw has no interest in the relics though. Guys, it is a Burgrave to try and end the game. I mean, this is sick. Like, this is actually really smart by Puppy Paw. He still has substantial food left over. He's got most of the berries. He's got 2 or 3 deer. He's got about, what, 6 to 7 sheep and a few farms in there. This is smart because Beastie has gone raw archers and can do nothing else. If you get the men-at-arms pump going with their veterancy, with their armor upgraded, Beastie can't kill them. And he hasn't started building a single unit yet that can. Dervish gets blocked out again. Age up complete. Beastie is probably now expecting Regnants, right? Because there's still 3 relics on the field, and 2 of them are very close to Puppy Paw's side. Couldn't be more wrong. Dervish is going to try to sneak through. Puppy Paw fully aware of it and still hunting. Archers still just kiting, drawing attention. Puppy Paw everywhere at once. Archers and men-at-arms now moving across the right side. Beastie's entire army has been dragged west. This could be big. Relic also going to be blocked on the return, most likely here, considering there's archers and men-at-arms there. And the flood begins. Archer? Wait, I don't think Puppy Paw saw that. He does at least block the relic here. The one close to home did get picked, so BC now on 3 relics. But he's behind by 7 villages. It's getting worse and worse. Ooh, a lot. I don't know if I like this. This is a... Wait. This is a lot of wasted effort for Puppy Paw. He has a timing attack here, right? If he waits, Beastie gets crossbows. He's starting to scale a few. Archerman's still reacting. This is over half of Beastie's army right now. Puppy Paws, on the other hand. Well, they're getting ready to put on their flippers and their goggles because it's time to dive. Men-at-arms charge in. Crossbow count is low, slow, and about to blow up on itself. Not many to work with. No crossbows left. Dive in, and that is going to be it. Puppy Paw with the succinct 1-2. The greedy Aachen pays off. HRE players, take note. If you want to play all-in feudal, stop hiding in your base. Get out on the map. Live life its best way. Live life the Puppy Paw way.